What's up guys, and welcome to another video here on the CMB Tech channel. And in today's video I am going to be doing a video talking about the 5S and SE from Apple. So the 5S and SE are both very closely related due to the 5S being the first of this variation, with the SE essentially having the same body just with different internals and camera. Firstly, let's talk about the 5S, of which has a A7 chip. Then the 5S has 1GB of RAM and a dual-core processor. In comparison, the SE has an A9 chip, which is a lot newer since the phone is new obviously, and 2GB of RAM as well as the same dual-core processor. The SE is running a 1.8GHz processor, which is dual-core, and then the 5S is actually running a 1.3GHz processor, but still dual-core, so you will probably see a bit of a speed difference in your day-to-day tasks, which will make the SE a bit more easier to use. At the start of the video, both the 5S and the SE are based on the same body shell, so this means that if you put them both together in the same colour, they look exactly the same, meaning the styling is exactly the same, so there is no difference in how they look. So another thing is that they both have the Touch ID sensor, except the SE is obviously newer, so this may have a faster Touch ID sensor than the 5S. So in terms of the camera on these two different devices, there is actually quite a big quality difference between the two. So first, for the back cameras, the 5S has an 8MP camera, whereas the SE has a 12MP camera, so there is quite a significant difference there. In terms of the front cameras, they both have 1.2MP front-facing cameras, except the SE does have some aperture differences. So in terms of video, the 5S will do 1080p at 30fps, while the SE will do the significant increase of 4K at 30fps. For slow motion, the SE will do 1080p at 120fps, and then 720p at 240fps.
So here I have the iPhone 5S and SE cameras right next to each other. I might put this together in editing to see how the quality. I think this is on the highest quality possible. So here's the video settings on the outside. They're right next to each other.
In terms of colours, the 5S actually does not come with rose gold, of which the SE does. So this means that for the 5S you'll be able to get it in space grey, silver or gold, compared to the SE, which gets you rose gold, gold, silver and space grey. So now let's have a look at some speed test comparisons between these two devices.
So we're now going to do a speed test of both iPhones, the iPhone 5S and iPhone SE. So to start off by doing the home button here, which you just press at the same time, and then do it like this. The iPhone SE obviously loads up, and let's start off with the camera first. So now we're going to try the App Store by pressing them at exactly the same time to see which one loads up quicker. So as you can see, the SE loaded up quicker. So now let's look at this other speed test, like going on settings. Now for speed test, we're now going to see how fast it can load up Safari. As you can see, obviously the iPhone SE is a bit quicker than the iPhone 5S.
So once again, there is a few more differences between the capacities on these two different devices. The SE comes in 16, 32, 64 and 128GB capacities, but in comparison the 5S will only come in 16, 32 and 64GB capacities. However, the 16GB capacity on the SE is actually rather small, because if you consider the fact that the 4K video on the SE takes up a lot of space, once you add up some apps as well, this will fill up your phone rather quickly. Just to let you guys know, on the 5S and the SE, the screen resolution is actually exactly the same. They are both 1126 by 640. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you enjoyed. And also be sure to go and check, as usual, our Instagram and Twitter, which is both CMB Tech with an underscore. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.